Hello, everyone. Welcome to Liberal Tarot. I'm Sherry, and I am a blue dot in a red state utilizing Tarot to help us navigate these very trying times here in the United States. So, welcome. In today's reading, I want to look at a story that's not been getting a lot of news traction lately, and it's because of the tariffs. I mean, the tariffs have kind of, and the tanking of our economy has very much taken, front page here. But this is a story that I had kind of tagged a week or so ago to kind of watch, and there's been a little bit, some updates on it, and it's this possible war with Mexico. And and so what it is Trump wants to be able to use drone strikes to take out the cartels. And so President Scheinbaum has said no. You will not be doing this. There's been, according to some reports, there may be some kind of intelligence sharing going on. Like it kind of read like she may be trying to kind of placate him just to kind of keep him at bay a little bit. But here is something from Reuters that I wanted to read here. During a congressional hearing on Tuesday, so this reading is actually going to be coming out next week, so this would have been the past Tuesday when this occurred. A senior Pentagon official said the military did not currently have the authority to hit cartels in Mexico. And then it goes on to say Trump considered military action in Mexico during his first term. His former defense secretary, Mark Esper, wrote in his memoir that Trump asked at least twice in 2020 if the military could, quote, shoot missiles into Mexico to destroy drug labs, end quote. Mark Esper wrote that he replied that it would be illegal and an act of war. Okay, so we know that Trump is itching to get those war powers. He is making, those threats towards, and has actually, because of Signalgate, we know that he carried out those attacks against the Houthi in Yemen. He's kind of, been making sounds towards Iran, and now we have, Mexico. And, this article had gone on to say, it's like these drug cartels, they're not operating in the way that Trump thinks that they are. Shocking that he would not understand. That, he's thinking this is like some big elaborate like they have a pharmaceutical lab that they do this in. And the article, what was reported is that's not really how that works. So, I just want to kind of do a base reading of, what is this looking like and kind of where is this going? Is he actually going to follow through? As I said, in 2020, he was told no, and that it would be illegal and an act of war. So I just kind of want to see where this goes from here. Okay. Okay, get ready here. So just base reading on this idea of war with Mexico, and specifically, using that the drone strikes targeting the cartels. Just a base reading. What is that looking like? The energy around that. As always, this is for entertainment purposes only. So looking at the drug cartels drone strikes that Trump's wanting to do. Okay, and with that, in the center, this is a card, the Four of Cups is a card of not being happy with what you're being offered. So not being happy with either what he's been told. Mexico has definitely not been very receptive to this. So this is just an overall card of not being happy with what you're being told or what you're being offered. Let's see where this goes. And the Queen of Swords. It's kind of like the law has come down and said no. And also, this very much could be President Scheinbaum right here. She very much is that Queen of Swords. Like, she is telling him no. Okay, the sword of truth, and she's also ready to defend her country. She is not going to be walked all over by Trump. Okay, and so she herself is not happy with what Trump is saying, and she is saying no. Trump is not happy with her standing up for her country. Okay. and walking away, going in a new direction. This is, what really stands out to me is the red cloak here, those red hats. So let's see kind of where this card goes, because this card really is just kind of going in a new direction. So I'm curious if this is going to be that he does it anyway. That's kind of my concern here. And he's thinking about it. This is someone who is gearing up for battle. Okay, this is someone who's taking a step back, looking at their options, kind of making that final plan of how to proceed forward. Okay, and once again, notice all the red in this. So yeah, this is like he's trying to find a legal way to be able to do this anyway. Okay, just because she has said no, he is still telling his advisors to and cabinet secretary people to find me a way. Find me a way. That is, find me a way to be able to do this. He wanted to be able to do this in the past. He was told no. And he wants to do this, and he's saying it's for the security of our country. Four of Wands is happy, stable home. And so I don't know why he thinks that this is going to be, it doesn't have to make sense. Okay, so to summarize just this base reading here, the very heart of this is President Scheinbaum telling him no. Okay, and he doesn't care. Okay, find me a way. We're going to do it anyway. This is something I wanted to always do. I wanted to do it in the past, and now trying to make it, for the security of our country. Okay, so is he actually going to do this? Are they going to give him what he wants? And by they, the cabinet secretaries, Congress, anybody. Is he going to do this? Well, that just kind of, let's see what that card was. This card, you saw me shuffling, this card flipped out. Usually when cards flip out, I'll go ahead and read them. This is victory. I mean, he thinks that he's going to be victorious in this. I'm just getting these just illusions of, he wants a Nobel Peace Prize so bad because Obama has one, that I'm just getting this feeling of, he thinks that if he rids the world of fentanyl, then he will get the Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, that's where his mind is in this, which is, woohoo, a little crazy. So, yes, declaring war is going to get you a Nobel Peace Prize. Invading a sovereign country without their consent is going to get you the Nobel Peace Prize. I think not. So, is he actually, I'm going to leave that card right there just to kind of see how that fits in. So, is he actually going to do this? Okay, with that, this is a card of making either an offering or something new of value. So he is looking for a way to make this happen. These are also just like those tangible things. So it's not just the idea of saying we're going to do this, it's actually following through with it as well. Okay, so so much disappointment. Like the way he's been told no. I mean, it's like no means no. But we all know that with Trump, he does not understand consent. So it's like he's still hopeful. Find me a way to make this happen. And Hegseth has even said, we're looking at all options. So they're looking at any way that they can, honestly, just pervert the law or just bypass the law altogether. Okay. The Magician is, I always see this is the beginning of a journey, and this is a card of, you've got everything you need at your disposal to be able to accomplish what you want. In the more lower energy of this, it is illusions. It's like manipulation. It's taking things, what you have and twisting it to fit a narrative that you want it to fit. Okay, so that is absolutely what's coming up here of, I know I've been told in the past, find me the law, find me a way to make this happen. I don't care what you have to do to manipulate, an idea, a law, a precedent, whatever it is you need to do. Make it to where I can do this. And this, he really sees this Nobel Peace Prize as his destiny. The World card it's the last card in the major arcana, and this is a card of achieving your destiny. And this is the foundation here. So why does he want to do this? He truly thinks that getting a Nobel Peace Prize, I can't say this without laughing, is his destiny. Okay. And the reason I'm saying Nobel Peace Prize, it's just that's the feeling I'm getting. So whatever it is that he thinks he's going to accomplish, he sees himself as going down as the greatest POTUS in the United States. And he is just going to have all these accolades and all these honors, and people are going to worship him, and it'll just be so great and wonderful. And the reality is, no, Don, that's not how anything in the world works. Okay. And us, him being told no in the past. Okay, both of these cards, these past cards, he's wanted to do it in the past. He's been told no in the past. And so the outcome of this is his hopes and dreams of fulfilling his destiny. And then you do get and as I said, whenever I was shuffling, and this card kind of flipped out as I was shuffling, that Six of Wands is he really thinks he could be victorious in this. Now, there's nothing here. This is all about what he wants. There's nothing here saying that he's actually gonna be able to follow through on it. And at the very center of this, if you remember going back to the very center, was President Scheinbaum telling him no. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a real, just this kind of on this star card. These are his hopes and dreams. Is he actually going to do this? I just, 3 cards. Is he actually going to try these drone strikes in Mexico? Okay, and with those drone strikes, this is, pages are, messengers, and pages, these are not, you don't want to go into war with, or into battle with a page. Okay, this is not a strong person leading the battle. Okay, so this is kind of like is the feeling I get from that. You can be very passionate about what you want. He's very passionate about this idea and about these delusions of grandeur here, but there's nothing. I mean, you can be passionate. It's almost like the deals that are going to be made are more monetary wise. Is this going to be like tariffs to do the, like tariffs to try to stop that? Because that's kind of what he sort of used with the tariffs, was because of fentanyl, and then he tariffs penguins. So, the tariffs are another reading. But since it came up right here, let's see. Is this going to be more of a, like money is involved, like the tariffs type thing? And with that, things that are hidden, things that, being, the Knight of Swords is somebody taking irrational action, just racing off into battle without really even thinking about what they're doing and being left out in the cold. So, yeah, if he does this, there may be some kind of posturing here. There may be like one, if anything, like if there is a drone strike, it's like it is met very swiftly with condemnation. I mean, it's like, you are not going to do this. So this is looking like more like, I'm getting the feeling like the monetary stuff, like making things secure, but there's nothing here that really says anything about battle. There may, like, he really wants this drone strike. But the bigger portion here of what is coming up is more negotiations, like, enhanced security at the border. That type of thing is kind of what I'm feeling, like more surveillance, more stopping it as it comes across the border. So, yeah, I'm not really seeing that as really going anywhere. Let me pull this back up here real quick. Yeah, so he wants this. I mean, he wants this. He's telling everybody, make this happen for me. But everyone's like, this is not going to get what you want. So it's like these 2 cards here kind of make me, and then this card that flipped out, the Six of Wands. But I see this more like he's wanting this, like he sees victory, not that it actually happens. These 2 cards here is just the irrational thought process, the irrational action, and being left out in the cold pretty quick. So that's why I don't, if there is, it's going to be like, there may be one drone strike. I mean, I just don't see that as a real viable option. The bigger options that came up here with this was these two cards. The page, which is, I'm going to say, talking negotiations of how we can do this that makes sense. Okay, so for right now, the way this is looking is there will not be war with Mexico. Everybody around him in his circle is saying, this is not a good idea. And there's other ways that we can accomplish this. But he really wants that war, man. He really wants those war powers. So I will keep watching this. As I said, this was one of those stories that was kind of been a little bit under the radar lately because we've had a few more pressing things happening in the news. So yeah, I'll just keep watching it. And as things progress, I'm sure this will not be the last time I do a reading on this. So thank you so much for joining me. If you could subscribe, I really do appreciate that. And then I'll put some other videos over here for you to watch, especially if this is your first time. Thank you for joining me. And yeah, absolutely. Check out some of my other readings, okay? I do appreciate it. So thank you and have a great day.